You fixed the money problem. At least that is what the numbers say. The debt is smaller, the income is better. The savings account finally has something in it. The bills are not chasing you the way they used to. So why does your body still react like everything is about to fall apart? Why do you still feel tension before checking your bank account even when you already know there is enough money there? Why does buying something normal still come with that quiet wave of guilt, like you just made a mistake you cannot see yet? This is one of the strangest parts of financial stability. You can repair your financial life before your nervous system believes you are safe. And when that happens, progress does not feel like relief, it feels suspicious. Because part of you remembers what it was like when every dollar mattered, when one unexpected bill could ruin the week, when being careful was not a personality trait, it was survival. So now your life may be more stable, but your reactions are still loyal to an older version of you, the version that had to prepare for collapse. And the difficult truth is this: money can change faster than fear. Your account can improve, your income can improve, your habits can improve, and still something inside you keeps scanning for the next disaster. Maybe the problem was never only that you did not have enough money. Maybe money became the place where your sense of safety lived. And once money becomes safety, better numbers do not instantly create peace. They create confusion, because now you look at your life and think, I should feel better. Maybe you paid something off. Maybe you got the raise. Maybe you built an emergency fund. Maybe you simply stopped drowning. From the outside, this should be the part where your body exhales. But the achievement happened, and the peace did not. Nobody really prepares you for that. People talk about the stress of being broke, debt, pressure, and survival. But they do not talk as much about what happens after the numbers improve. The moment when life is more stable, but your body still acts like the emergency never ended. You open the banking app, and before the screen even loads, your body tightens. Not because something has gone wrong, but because your body remembers when checking your balance could ruin your entire day. It remembers the fast calculation. Can I pay this? What is coming out tomorrow? What did I forget? How many days until I get paid again? Even if those questions are no longer urgent, your body may still ask them, because fear does not leave just because the facts changed. Fear waits to be convinced. When you spent a long time without enough, your brain did not just learn budgeting. It learned danger. It learned that a low balance meant exposure, that an unexpected bill meant shame, that spending meant risk, and that relaxing too early could cost you later. So even when your financial life is better, your internal system may still be operating from old rules. Do not get comfortable. Check again. Something is coming. You are only safe if you are worried. And that last rule matters, because for many people, fear became confused with responsibility. You were not just afraid, you were careful. You were not just anxious, you were prepared. You were not just tense, you were the one who made sure nothing fell apart. And when that identity has been rewarded for years, it follows you into better circumstances. It whispers when you are about to enjoy something, upgrade something, invest in something, or simply spend without punishment. It says, "Are you sure?" At first, that question sounds wise, mature, and financially responsible. But sometimes, "Are you sure?" is not wisdom. Sometimes it is an old alarm wearing the mask of discipline. Because there is a difference between making a thoughtful financial decision and emotionally interrogating yourself over every normal purchase. There is a difference between planning and bracing. There is a difference between being responsible with money and treating peace like a threat. When your money improves, fear does not always disappear. Sometimes it changes shape. When you earned less, the fear was, "What if I cannot make it?" When you earn more, the fear becomes, "What if I lose this?" When you had no savings, the fear was, "What if something happens?" When you have savings, the fear becomes, "What if this is still not enough?" And suddenly financial progress becomes a moving target. The moment you reach the number that once felt safe, your mind raises the number. The moment you create breathing room, fear fills the space with future disasters. This can make you think something is wrong with you. But maybe this is not failure. Maybe it is lack. Maybe your financial life changed, but your internal definition of safety has not caught up yet, because your nervous system does not update like a spreadsheet. You cannot enter a new income number and instantly become a new person. Your body learns through repetition, and if it repeated fear around money for years, it may need more than one improved bank statement to believe the danger has passed. This is why the first stage of stability can feel so strange. You worked on the money, you earned more, you saved more, you fixed what you could fix, and then you discovered another problem underneath. You do not fully trust progress. Sometimes the hardest part is not improving your financial life. It is believing the improvement is real. So even when your current life gives you evidence of stability, your mind keeps using old evidence. And those memories do not always show up as images. Sometimes they show up as hesitation, guilt, and the feeling that spending is dangerous even when the purchase is reasonable. This is why financial safety is not just about how much you have. It is also about what your body thinks money means. If money means protection, spending feels like losing protection. If money means proof that you are responsible, every purchase feels like a test of your character. And that is why someone can have enough and still not feel safe. Because enough is not only a number, enough is a feeling your system has to learn how to trust. There is another hidden contradiction. A part of you may not know who you are without financial pressure. Of course, you wanted the pressure to end. But if financial pressure shaped your identity for a long time, then peace can feel unfamiliar. Without pressure, you do not feel free. You feel unprepared. Pressure gave you a role. Calculate, sacrifice, delay, stay alert, and never let your guard down. Then stability asks you to become someone else. Someone who can choose without panic, spend without self-attack, save without obsession, and rest without checking for danger. That can feel uncomfortable because vigilance has become familiar, and familiar can feel safer than peaceful. This is where many people stay stuck. They keep trying to solve an emotional alarm with more numbers, a bigger emergency fund, more income, more discipline, and maybe some of that helps. But if no amount of planning gives you permission to feel safe, then the issue is no longer just financial. So the shift begins here. Notice the difference between a current financial fact and an old emotional reflex. Fear around money is not always evidence. Fear feels like information. It feels like wisdom. It feels like your body is saying, "Pay attention, something is wrong." And sometimes fear is useful, but not every fear is accurate. Anxiety after spending does not automatically mean the spending was irresponsible. Guilt after buying something does not automatically mean you did something wrong. Feeling unsafe with money does not always mean you are financially unsafe. Sometimes it means your body is remembering what it cost to be unsafe before. That is why the goal is not to shame the fear. The goal is to stop treating fear as the final authority. You do not have to say, "I should not feel this." You can say, "I understand why I feel this." But then ask a better question. Is this fear responding to my present numbers or to an older version of my life? That question creates space, and space is where emotional repair begins. This is how stability becomes emotional safety, not through one perfect budget, not through one number that finally makes fear disappear forever, but through repeated moments where your body learns slowly that the present is not the past. You check the account and you do not spiral. You pay the bill and notice you are still okay. You spend thoughtfully and do not punish yourself for needing or wanting something. You allow progress to count. Fear will always ask for more proof. Yes, but not enough. Yes, but not secure enough. Yes, but not guaranteed. Yes, but what if something changes? And of course, something could change. Money will always involve uncertainty. But emotional safety does not mean you believe nothing will ever go wrong. It means you stop living as if something is always about to. That is a different kind of freedom. Not careless, not naive, but no longer making fear the manager of your financial life. You can be responsible without being terrified. You can be careful without being trapped. You can protect your future without treating the present like a threat. And maybe that is the next stage of your financial life. Not just earning more, not just saving more, but learning to feel safe inside the stability you worked so hard to build. Because it is possible to leave scarcity financially and still carry it emotionally. And maybe that fear deserves some respect. It was trying to protect you, but protection can become a prison when the danger has changed. At some point, the part of you that survives scarcity has to learn that it is not being abandoned. It is being updated. You are not becoming reckless. You are becoming present. You are learning how to relate to money without turning every decision into a threat. So the next time money anxiety appears, do not immediately fight it. Pause. Look at the facts. Look at the feeling. And ask, what year does this fear think I am living in? Because sometimes your bank account is in the present, but your body is still living in the past. And the work is not just to fix the money, it is to help the body receive the message. The crisis is not the same anymore. The numbers are not what they used to be. You are allowed to notice that. You are allowed to let progress be real. You are allowed to build a life where money is important, but not terrifying. Because financial stability begins with numbers, but emotional safety begins when your nervous system finally believes, I am not there anymore. I am here, and here I can make decisions without collapsing. Here I can be responsible without being afraid all the time. Here I can let money support my life instead of control my sense of safety.